Hello, everyone. So today I will be talking about what a phishing attack is, the damages of a phishing attack, how much it costs, the theory and the application behind it as well. So a phishing attack is a type of social engineering attack used to steal user data, user credentials like username and password, and or credit card and social security numbers. Attacks have different options for phishing attacks. This could be as generic as a simple email phishing attack, or it could also be as complex as as poisoning different search engines called an SEO phishing attack or an SEO poisoning. So these are the top and common phishing attacks commonly used by attackers today. One of them would be a spear phishing attack. This targets a specific group of individuals, like a company's IT admin, for example. Criminals have already gathered information from the target, like their name, their place of employment, their job title, and their email address. Whaling is also another type of phishing attack hackers often use, as this is somewhat similar to a spear phishing attack, but instead, whaling attacks targets the big dogs of the company and attempts to imitate the senior staff. So we are talking about the CEO, the CTO, the CEO, or etc. Right, of the company. Smishing is also a type of phishing attack that replaces emails. Instead, the attackers communicates with the victim via text messages. A good example is receiving an unexpected e-transfer from a suspicious number, or receiving an unexpected e-transfer in general, right? One of them is also a phishing attack. This also replaces emails as well. This involves the attacker communicating with the victim via phone call. An average breach costs an organization about $3.92 million, and this is for phishing attacks alone. This number will generally be higher in larger organizations and lower in smaller organizations. So what does a phishing email look like? It would look like this. So as you can see right over here, we have this example of a phishing email that pulled off from the internet. What to look out for mainly is how the text is laid out. If you feel uneasy about the email itself, this could potentially be, that email could potentially be a phishing attempt, right? So one thing to look out for is the text feels a little off, and the domain as well is pretty weird, right? So you can see here the email is coming from American Express, but if you look at the domain, it would end up at pentagon-seguridad.cl. Now, this raises a lot of red flags because American Express alone doesn't usually have Pentagon as their domain, as one of their domain names when they do send out those emails, right? How are these emails sent? Nowadays, you can use platforms like KnowBe4, GoFish. There's a lot of other platforms out there, or you can even use simple tools from GitHub as well. Now I'm going to be showing you these tools. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up my terminal right up top. We're going to load to my toolbox and to the tool itself. So the tool that we're going to be using is NextPhisher. This is one of the biggest phishing tools used today as well. So we are going to run NextPhisher. So once we run NextPhisher, this gives us a huge amount of options of what we can use as a phishing attempt to our targets. For example, let's choose Instagram, right? Now we're going to choose Instagram as an option. We're going to load up the traditional login page for Instagram. And we're going to use the server that's going to be sending the email itself, right? So we're going to be using our local host. And what happens is that we are going to be sending our target this link right over here, which then directs to our landing page that will allow our victim to log in with their credentials. And I can definitely show you what happens right after. So for example, if this link gets sent to our victim, what ends up happening is that the victim will then get redirected to this link. And once they get redirected, they then get transferred over into our imitation page right over here, which contains a lookalike, or it looks like a legit Instagram landing page, right? But what actually happens behind the scenes is that even if you didn't type in any credentials, what ends up happening is that the attackers can then grab the victim's IP address. That alone is super dangerous, right? So, like for example, let's type in a mock-up username and password. So victim at victim.com, and the password would be victim. What ends up happening is that it will then show in plain text in the attacker side anyways of what credentials were punched in that landing page. Thank you, everyone. Hope you guys have a great day.